I have two bookshops I would really like to mention, and they're both. One of them is very specific, and it's New Beacon Books, which is in just north of Finsbury Park in North London, and it specialises in African and Caribbean books. And I spend quite a lot of time going around the world to different festivals, and the books are unavailable in this country, but particularly the African and Caribbean books. But you go to New Beacon Books, and there they all are. It's a sort of it's a place of passion, and you realise that actually not everything is published in the UK, and there is a wealth out there that I love being able to get my hands on. And the other one is Much Ado Bookshop in Alfriston, which I walk the South Downs Walk, and it is just a joyful place with lovely armchairs which you can rest your poor back in, take your boots off, put your back flat down, and just sit and read for a bit. And I think that that's something that I really, really cherish in independent bookshops, is where you are given an environment to just be with a book, and you might have a conversation with the bookseller, just to be able to sit down and be in a space with lovely literature. That's just one of life's great pleasures.
I feel like I should go local for my two favourite bookshops. One is Gerald's, which is part of a department store, and it's really a rare thing that had to get a department store with a book department in it, and they're incredibly supportive and kind and just fantastic. It's a lovely, elegant store anyway, so it's always a good excuse to go in there, and that's really wonderful. And we also have the Book Hive in Norwich. Actually, I've got the bag today. I'm not just using them because they gave me a free bag, but that's also a fantastic, really vibrant store. Yeah, we're really lucky in Norwich to have them here.
I think my favourite independent bookshop is Bookmongers in Brixton, which is it's on Colne Harbour Lane, which is very kind of busy street with lots of cafes and bars and things. Quite a small shop that goes back a long way, and it's one of those small bookshops that somehow you can spend 2 hours in without even noticing. It has a kind of, it's always got a range where you find things that you're not expecting. Things are higgledy-piggledy enough for you to have to spend a time kind of searching through, but still it's sort of tidy enough. It's got really good sections of books by women writers, by Irish writers, by LGBT writers. Like a lovely sofa at the end on a kind of raised bit. And the best thing about it is that they have a very big, scary looking but totally soppy Staffordshire Bull Terrier. And she'll walk up and bash you on the leg with her wagging tail every time you go in. So you would get a warm welcome. But yeah, I recommend it.
I was lucky enough to go to the ABA conference, which is our sister to the BA in the UK. To their conference in Denver this January. We went on a tour of bookshops, which is kind of like a dream day. And my favourite, actually, we saw lots of different scale of bookshops, but my favourite there was the Book Bar, which I like as a concept. I like bookmonger. I love the idea of melding the two and sort of, but it also making sense, because the bookmonger makes perfect sense to me as a bookshop deli. But the Book Bar, they had a kind of seamless marriage between a very cool, quite Spanish-looking bar, lovely kind of bar top, which was all laminated pages of books, and just really elegantly done, lots of detail. So next to the loo, they had humour section, which was great, and they had it in the rest of the shop as well. But I just loved the thinking that had gone into it, and their till was fantastic. It was a whole pile of paperbacks with a beautiful piece of wood, nicely crafted wood, on the top, so I got total till envy, and definitely planning on stealing that as a concept. And actually also another idea that I took from America, but I think it came from either Polly Jaffe or Nick Bottomley, was to do the record player in the bookshop. So, and actually Nick has his on a slight angle, I think, so you can see a lovely turntable going around, and just the tactile thing about independent bookshops is all about being tactile, all about experience, and I love making all the really good ideas.
It's funny you talk about America, because one of my most inspiring bookshops was actually in Cape Cod. I was fortunate enough to go there nearly 20 years ago, and it was wall-to-wall books. They didn't have a cafe, and I love bookshops with cafes, and I can't remember the name of this bookshop, but I think it was one of maybe 2 or 3 in this town in Cape Cod, and I just walked in and just could feel the energy in the store. And it was the first time I'd see, they call them staff picks, and they were all around everywhere, and I was just, I've got to read all these and make notes of all these books. And I thought that was so powerful, and took that idea, and I know it's quite commonly seen now, but it was the first time I'd really seen it in such a powerful and really the booksellers were owning that space, and I thought that was so strong. And their events were amazing, from breakfasts to lunches to book groups to authors. And I think 20 years ago that was still quite new, but it was obviously really working for them. So I found that inspiring, and I've sort of tried always to check those notes back, and I'd love to, haven't been back, but I'd love to go back to that bookshop one day. But I think they were just a little bit ahead of their time. They were certainly a little bit ahead of us, and now you see more and more of those. But I always remember the Cape Cod.
You should become buddies with them.
That would be a really good idea. Yeah. The one actually I would love to be buddies with, and one of my staff is really good friends, is one on Venice Beach in California.
Oh, wow.
And I've forgotten the name of the bookstore. But apparently it's an absolute legend in California. Any American author who happens to be on the West Coast visits this bookshop. And obviously Venice Beach is very well known for the open air and the theatre and the sort of street performers. And this legendary bookshop, whose name I can't remember, they're quite big, and one of the staff works there, and we were always saying we must do a sort of buddying system so we can recommend to each other. And I think bookshops reaching out to each other is really important.
Yeah.
It's a creative industry, and
Yeah.
I think people who come into bookshops love to see something different. And
and we all sort of want the same thing as well. I think
it's the collective good.
Yeah, we all want people to read and to improve literacy and education and help people have these kind of amazing experiences that books can provide.